My talk, as you've seen, the title is self-explanatory, and it was when I saw the invitation. I didn't know, and they told me that I'll give a talk, and I didn't know where the angle it would go. But I looked at that China-Africa Mathematics Research Forum. That enabled me to coin this topic towards what I saw and the invitation. And I believe it will help us a lot to move further in this discourse. My name is Eric Owadiego Ofedu, and I'm a professor of mathematics at the University, Awka, Anambra State, Nigeria. Currently, I am on sabbatical leave at Federal University of Technology, Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria. By virtue of being the assistant editor-in-chief of Journal of Nigerian Mathematical Society, and also the editor of Nigerian Mathematical Society notices. The notices is like a news bulletin we use to disseminate information about mathematics in Nigeria and all over the world. So being an editor, I've been gathering information here, which I think I will help to disseminate through the magazine. Once I get down, I will publish this event in the magazine. So the university I came from is located in a state called Anambra State. Anambra State is in southeastern part of Nigeria.
Any meaning? The name of the state.
The name of the state.
Yes.
Anambra State. Anambra is coined, is Anglicanized name of a river in the state called Omambala River. Okay. That is where the name was coined from.
But it has any meanings? The river has any meanings?
Meaning?
Yeah. The river sometimes has meanings.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Omambala means something that is huge.
Huge.
Yes. Huge. So that's what it means. So this is the university. The university is broken into campuses. We have 3 major campuses and 2 premises. And these campuses house some faculties. The Awka campus is the major campus of the university, and that is where the Faculty of Physical Sciences, which houses the Department of Mathematics, is located. And that is the department where I help to groom students.
Please explain the
Nnamdi Azikiwe University is one. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the name came from the name of one of the prominent Africans that helped to fight for independence of Africa. And that person is Nnamdi Azikiwe. And the university was named after him.
He wrote a book, Renaissance Africa, in 1938.
The university happens to be one of the 3rd generation universities in Nigeria. So the university is guided by the motto you see above: discipline, self-reliance, and excellence. And that sort of explains the kind of students we produce. We produce them and tailor them towards making sure that we have those characters. Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, is founded on the philosophy that knowledge should be propagated and disseminated to individuals without let or hindrance. Teaching and research are anchored on the need of national and international societies. This talk is aimed at discussing the importance and essentialities of China-Africa mathematics collaborative research and education, a topic which is highly relevant and timely. Such collaborative research and education can help build mathematical capacity at all levels in the collaborating institutions and foster cultural exchange, promoting mutual understanding and respect among researchers from the participating institutions, nations. The importance and essentialities of such collaborative research, which of course shall definitely include exchange of scientific knowledge and ideas, cannot be overemphasized. Mathematics has long been a cornerstone. We all know what mathematics can do in terms of connectivity between different disciplines in the world. That is, the different disciplines that are offered in the universities. The mathematics is very important and it should not be neglected, and because of that, I think this collaboration, if successful, will go a long way to promote the dissemination of information about mathematics, particularly making the participants, I mean those that have decided to learn this, in quote, difficult subject, make it easy for them to be accommodated. In recent times, it's good for me to mention this, that there is already existing handshake between China and Africa, in particular Nigeria, because in sub-Saharan Africa, Nigeria for instance, China is actively investing across a wide array of sectors, aiming to fuel her industrialization, infrastructure overhauling, and technological advancement. Key areas of China investment and specific projects can be outlined as follows. We have infrastructure, energy and power, manufacturing and industrialization, agriculture and agro-processing, mining and solid minerals, automotive and electric vehicle manufacturing, technology, ICTs, fintech and digital economy, as well as oil and gas and chemicals. These are where China has invested massively in the country where I came from. And interestingly, when we were at the museum yesterday, something caught my attention, where I saw the display of Lagos-Ibadan Standard Gauge Railway as one of the projects China has executed in Nigeria. Apart from this, there are several others which are outlined here, and I won't waste our time trying to read them out one after the other. So this shows that China and Africa are already, in a way, collaborating. Now bringing it home to where it affects us, mathematics. I think that China-Africa Forum on Mathematical Research and Education is an initiative with great long-run potential and prospect. And I must confess that it is timely because it came at a time it is needed most. It came at a time it is needed most. And why? Because of the challenges mathematics learning in Africa are facing today. One of such challenges is, for instance, not that Africa cannot do mathematics. Africa has what it takes to do her mathematics perfectly well. But the problem is that artificially manufactured difficulty and poverty. I say artificially manufactured because Africa has every resources to sustain its citizens. It's artificially manufactured. This artificially manufactured difficulties has made our best brains to leave Africa. It's just like the person speaking behind you. Immediately he graduated his PhD thesis. The first thing I did was to see my vice chancellor then and convince him that I would get him in as an adjunct lecturer, which he gladly did, and we brought him in. He didn't stay with us up to 2 years. This call for his postdoctoral fellowship in Germany came, and it was like a shock on me. But for the fact that the young man wants to survive, I wouldn't stop him from going. I had to give him my blessing and told him to go ahead. And today we are. And you can see what this collaborative research has done. I mean, this initiative has done, bringing us all together. And through this initiative, I believe strongly that that thing we think we've lost will be gained back. Because this is the time for him to come to Africa and the world and display his talent again. So some challenges we have, as I said, this artificial innovation, we have limited resources, cultural and linguistic barrier, socio-economic factors, outdated curricula. So these are things, if we are able to work on and handle them perfectly well, I think that these collaborations will go a long way. Now, the opportunities are there. Growing demand, I think you mentioned it, that we have talents in Africa that are really are fully motivated to do research. The only thing they need is support. The only thing they need is encouragement. The only thing they need is to bring them together and tell them that they can do it. Making them believe in themselves. And once this is achieved, we will see that Africa is a fertile ground for us to groom people that will move the world forward. Now, we also have innovative approaches through which this can be done. Mobile-based learning, gamification, contextualized learning, peer-to-peer learning, teacher training support. Particularly, this peer-to-peer learning attracts me most because I preach it in my everyday teaching of mathematics. I always request students to form reading groups, study groups, where they interact with themselves and identify their potentials. Those that have already gotten it will try to showcase themselves. And believe me, it has been helping because those people that think they knew it all may see that the person that is, in quote, is not following will really be the person that will point out errors. And by that, they strengthen their knowledge gap. Now, by addressing challenges and leveraging opportunities, innovative approaches can help improve mathematics learning outcomes and empower future generations to tackle complex problems and derive development. Yes. Now, China-Africa Mathematics Collaborative Research and Education is, in my belief, shall offer numerous benefits. It may have some challenges, but opportunities for growth should serve as a driving force. Some benefits of the anticipated collaboration. These are what I listed here: knowledge exchange and innovation, enhanced research productivity, capacity building, addressing complex challenges. Challenges we may meet along the line, and we're not praying that they will be there. And when they are there, with maturity, I think they can be handled. Communication barriers, power imbalances, and cultural and linguistic differences, then distance and coordination. And most of the speakers here have directly or indirectly hit on this. They've talked about it. And if we are able to handle these challenges perfectly well, we can go a long way. Then strategies for successful partnership, clear goals and expectations. Choosing the right partners, this is very important. Effective communication, mutual benefit. This brings me back to what our president, the president of African Union, pointed at. And this was emphasized on by Professor Atang Ghana when he was talking about bijective collaboration. Then what I think they are talking about is nothing but symbiotic relationship, where there is equal benefit. And our expectation is that Newton's third law of motion should be at play. Action and reaction must be equal and opposite, so that we will continue being at equilibrium. Now, by understanding benefits, challenges, and strategies, China-Africa Mathematics Collaborative Research and Education can go a long way to open up its full potentials and drive meaningful scientific contributions. Cultural exchange and understanding cultural differences are crucial for effective collaboration, especially in international research partnerships. Now, why cultural understanding matters? If we look at this, improved communication, enhanced collaboration, increased creativity, better conflict resolution. Once we understand ourselves, I don't think there will be problems. There will be much problems. Let me not say no problems at all. They will come, but our maturity will help us manage issues. Then, key facts of cultural differences: communication styles, the way we speak to ourselves, the way we talk, the way we disseminate information, work ethic, and time management. Very important. Decision-making processes, social norms and values. We must come to a level of respecting each other as regards norms and values governing each participating institution. Now, strategy for effective cultural exchange, cultural training and education, open-mindedness and curiosity, active listening and empathy. This is very important. Egoistic tendency will not do us well at all. We need to be open-minded and allow the weak the chance to approach us effectively so that communication gap should be closed. And by that, we go further. Flexibility and adaptability. By addressing cultural differences and fostering a culture of understanding, China-Africa Mathematics Collaborative Research and Education can go a long way to unlock its full potentials and accomplish to a reasonable extent its aim and objectives. Good news. This has to do with the cultural exchange. This is where we come. And I want to give a typical example. That typical example exists in my university where we have the Confucius Institute. And when we were at the museum yesterday, I saw that there are so many of them all over Africa. But this is the only one that is existing in Nigeria. And the time this came, I went to the institute, and there's where I got these pictures. And I was able to see that there's an ongoing lecture. You can see a Chinese teaching students the language and cultural values of China. This is another lecture going on as at the time I put up this lecture. And you can see a student that has already, they are doing what we call tutorial class and is displaying what he has learned to other students. Now to talk more, something gladdened my heart when I arrived here. Most of the students that came to meet me, it happened that one of them, for instance, helped a lot when we met at the airport in terms of communication. And it happened that these students were graduates of this institute. So they came from this University, where I'm doing the little I can to develop mathematics. Now, building mathematical capacity in collaborating institutions through China-Africa Mathematics Research and Education can be achieved through several strategies. These are the strategies. Training and education. Again, I won't bore that is disturb us by trying to read in details what I put as a side explanation. Research collaboration, and who wants to go in details can have this lecture after the presentation. Infrastructure development, he has already mentioned it. Invest in building research infrastructure, such as laboratories, libraries, computational facilities in participating institutions. China's experience in infrastructure development can be invaluable in this regard. We also have funding and grants, capacity building programs. These are the strategies, I believe, will go a long way in helping these collaboration work. Successful initiatives, we've already had some, and these are examples. China-Africa Science and Technology Partnership Plan task has funded collaborative research initiatives, encouraged knowledge exchange, and provided training for scientists and technicians. The Consortium for Advanced Research Training in Africa, ACTA, offers PhD fellowships and training programs to build research capacity in African institutions. The Science for Africa Foundation supports research management capacity, strengthening programs, and provides funding for research initiatives. If we, for example, have the existence of successful initiatives, I strongly believe that this particular initiative will also be successful. Key benefits from the collaboration: enhance research productivity and quality, increase mathematical literacy and problem-solving skills, improve research management and leadership capacity, strengthen partnerships, collaborations between Chinese and African institutions, addressing African and Chinese challenges through mathematical sciences and innovative solutions. Conclusion. By adopting these strategies and building on successful initiatives, China-Africa Mathematics Collaborative Research and Education can significantly enhance mathematical capacity in not only African institutions, but in fact in all the collaborating institutions. This collaboration, if put in place, has the capability of promoting education development, cultural exchange, and economic cooperation between China and Africa. By working together, common challenges can be addressed and mutual benefits shall be inevitable. Permit me to pause here for a moment. I have my reasons for adding for a moment. These are some of my references. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Alfredo. It's my colleague, my senior, my brother. Thank you very much.
It's an African man.
So, now it's time for comments, contributions, remarks, questions.
Two requests. If you can just put the previous slide, your references was very useful.
Okay.
In fact, ACTA was started at my university, and we went to Kenya, and and then again, I mean, if the slides can be made available because it provides a roadmap for many of the things.
Yes. Particularly also
to our customers.
You have it all. This is free for all of us.
Yes.
You understand? He is here, and we can share this slides. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Professor Eric, for your presentation about relationship between China, Africa Mathematics Collaborative Research and Education. I'm so proud by your presentation, and especially by the last slide about the good news. We have talking about the Confucius Institute, which is hosted in Nigeria. This center especially gathered students of Africa good benefit to study in China. We have also in Morocco this Confucius Institute. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I just add one comment. In fact, I enjoyed very much your presentation, and through our conference and forum, we can consider this presentation as a reference for the conclusion of all the conference. Thank you so much for well organized talk.
Thank you very much. I just want to say this, that I'm from Nigeria. I did all my degrees in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Before I got Humboldt postdoc in Germany, I did first of all for 2 years. I was doing an extension of performance for another 1 year. But I got another job with the European Research Council in Vienna. So, and this is an African boy. If I can do it, there are better ones in Africa. I'm just telling you, there are better guys than me in Africa.
Oh, yes.
A lot of potentials are there.
You're fantastic.
A lot of potentials are there to be tapped. Because they are young. The president said 60% of the population is young. That is the potential.
We don't want them to go to war. We want them to do mathematics.
Then just follow what they've said. So thank you.
I want to say something. Yes.
Yeah. 1 minute, please. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yes. Okay. No, I just want to say to you, why are Nigerian engineers, over 300,000 Nigerian engineers are in America? And you say, you Nigerians,
Yes.
you say, since you don't have engineers, you cannot fabricate the oil. So you send the oil to be fabricated in America. And the fabricated oil comes to America at a higher price to you. Your own resource. America takes your engineers, America takes your oil. You still, I don't understand how the academic world, is there any chance you can also educate the politicians to be public servants, serving the people? How do we make them?
Actually, what he has raised is a serious issue. Yes. And I think it can be accommodated in the start of my lecture where I talk about creation of artificial difficulties. Yes. And one thing I believe as a human is that whatever is artificial will expire one day. And when the expiration date comes, all you are asking for will return to normal. That is it.
That's right.
So thank you very much.
No, I want to say.
Okay.
Please. Please.
Go on.
Give him a chance. Give him 30 seconds.
Maybe you can translate for me. Je suis fier de son expose.
Please.
Je suis
Lokman is
I am proud of this.
Yes. That's
and I want to add this.
Yeah.
Everything comes from our job. You have to work hard. It is not because the Chinese Africa cooperation that we can go far. The first work to work hard. Everyone has to work hard to develop himself, and after that develop others.
Thank you. You need the translation to French?
also, you are good in English. You speak well.
There's a very famous saying. Salvation starts within.
Yeah.
I'm not really good.
I'm a representative of Frenchman.
yeah, thank you very much. Something.
Oh yeah, I mean, just to looking at the shopping list, it's more than, I mean, it goes beyond your presentation and others. One idea that, it's an old idea that I've been mulling over, is how we can engage with the African diaspora to kind of get engaged with the development of advanced mathematical sciences. I mean, you can say, for instance, he went to study, from here he went to study in the US, and China kind of said, identified him to come back and start an initiative like this. So we haven't really looked at engaging with mathematical scientists in the African diaspora and think about how we can go about doing that.
Well, that's another thing. That's another issue. But before that could be thought of, we should do our homework well.
Yes.
We must make our nation attractive so that when you start such a discussion, they want to listen to it.
Yeah,
If not, they will be scared.
One of the problems is this issue. People are, as an I have an experience. When I was my postdoc in Germany, so when I finished, the Umboot Foundation asked me that they want to buy books to my university in Nigeria, worth of 6,000 euro. So I said, okay, that I should give them the list of the books. And I did, but the books were written by German authors. So, and I give them the list, 6,000 euro, you know. These books were sent to the universities in Nigeria, to my university in Nigeria. Do you know that it took more than 3 months before the books could be picked? The Umboot Foundation had to write me that the books have not been collected. So one of the problems that diaspora have in going back home is there is this no reception. You know, people are too, they are not just ready. And that is one of the problems. We want to contribute, but if you go there, your efforts are not appreciated. You know, people. So we need a kind of a revival, so to speak, where people can motivate them. And there are a lot of people outside the continent that want to help, but there are a lot of problems going on there. So that's the issue.
That's it. And that's why I say we need to really work, do more work. And let me give you an example.
Can I follow up on this? I think, I mean, it's a big debate. I think the way you are responding to this is just one activity when we attract people to go and teach. There are some funding opportunities that are not available to certain countries unless you partner with people, let's say, in China or, you know, there are many things that, I mean, people in other countries bring their own networks. They bring their own kind of insights. For instance, you get just one example that it meant something to you that this university is engaging in not collaboration, but in a conversation with people from the continent. And on the very first day, they complimented you on kind of the way you went out, you drove 4 hours to go and pick up people. It's not just about people who come and teach. There's a whole range of activities that you can think about creatively to unlock resources, etc., without getting people physically to come to Africa.
No, you are completely right. And I thank God that the president of African Mathematics Union and the vice president are here present. And interestingly, last night I had a discussion with the Council of Nigerian Mathematical Society. I told them what I'm seeing presently, and I've told them that our conference, the National Mathematics, that is the annual conference of the society, will come up next year at Uyo, that is Akwa Ibom, Nigeria. And I've told them that if I should be part of the board that will go for what we call resource verification, then there I will give a report on what I see here. And meanwhile, within here, I discussed with Professor Futoni. That was yesterday. And he agreed that he will come to Nigeria next year as one of the lead paper presenters. You can see what this particular gathering has brought. So I believe that if we keep our home safe, well, all these things will come into, will come together to give us the expected results.
Thank you.
Thank you.